Hey guys, it's your boy Ferris checking in with you, episode 11, here we are, and I think in the last video I promised we'd be getting started on the downtown, and you'll be seeing some snippets of what's going on there. I think you're going to get a little shot of it right now, but I haven't been able to get as much done there as I want to, and part of the reason is because I don't have the workforce to fill all these big office and commercial buildings that I'm plopping around this downtown area without having a college or university helping crank out some of those highly skilled workers. So I spent some time digging around in the workshop, and there are some awesome assets for doing colleges and universities, and I had a lot of fun with this build thanks largely to those asset creators who I'm going to try to give some credit to as we go along here. But I just want to take this opportunity to pop in and say, if you were looking for downtown stuff, not this time, next time I think I'm probably going to be doing that. But first we needed to get this done so that those buildings will actually be full of workers and residents. So enjoy this build. I'll be checking in as we go along. Dropping a wall around the campus because I feel like this is one of those more urban college campuses that separates itself completely from the city around it. You know, I took a lot of inspiration on this build from a whole bunch of different college campuses I've been to, including where I attended my undergraduate was at the University of Tampa, which is a very urban campus in downtown Tampa, Florida. And also near where I grew up in Hartford, Connecticut, there's a downtown campus called Trinity University. And Trinity is very much more along the lines of what I'm thinking of for this one, because it's in a not great area of town. The University of Tampa is actually in a really nice part of Tampa. It's right in the downtown, very close to the central business district of the city. But Trinity is not necessarily, and they keep it pretty much walled off from the city around it, and I kind of wanted to get that sort of feel that this is a private university, both in the sense that it's not a public school and that it's also they want to kind of keep their stuff private to themselves and not necessarily invite the non-college community from the city around them in, which is the best way to get that message across, is to put a big giant fuck off wall all around it. So that's what I was going for, pardon my French. additional detailing out in front here. I guess this is the front, I'm not really sure, of this main campus building with a nice park, which I thought was an important touch to add. And also you're going to see in a minute that I'm going to launch into a more plaza, less parkland, more urban plaza kind of feel on this open area that's on the other side of the building. But while I'm doing that, I just want to take a minute to give some props, no pun intended, to the asset creators who made some of these. So that main campus building there, which is huge and also just absolutely gorgeous, is the university main campus by an asset creator named Gen S or Gens. And this is the largest try count asset that I'm probably going to want to put in this entire city. It's 15,500 tries, which is like a lot. And I really wanted to plop this down to see if it would blow up my computer, and so far so good. I think maybe when we start building things around it, we'll see how badly it slows me up. But as of now, I'm sort of okay with it, and that building just looks so good. It's really irresistible, and it gets a lot of the feel that I really wanted out of it, that this is kind of a place with some tradition, some history, a very proud place, again, like a private school that thinks very highly of themselves. So, and it's just a gorgeous building, looks very historic. You can imagine, the uses it's had in the past. So it just fit perfectly, and despite the absolutely enormous try count, I had to give it a shot. The other college campus buildings, including those dorms that you're seeing kind of at the bottom of the screen now, and the other academic buildings that I plopped, one behind there and two more over by the football stadium, are from the Chirper University collection by Benetto, which I'm sure you've seen. It's not that long ago that it came out, and it was a really highly rated collection on the Steam Workshop. And you could do an entire campus that would just be absolutely stunning using nothing but this collection. It's really great stuff. So I didn't want to do an entire campus because it would be a very big one. There's so many different things in that collection, but I wanted to at least borrow a couple and do some other stuff. And then the football stadium, which of course, what's a university without a big football stadium, is Gula's Bantam Football, and a football stadium or park. I think it says park, but I can't read my own writing right now. And a really nice small university style football field. If I was doing those like a big giant state university, I'd probably go for like a big football arena, but that one fit nicely for kind of what I picture as being a relatively small urban college. So thank you to those asset creators. I'm going to provide links in the description below to each one of those, so you can go check them out for yourself, put them in your cities. And again, huge thanks to the asset creators who put this stuff together. Really made this build what it is, and quite frankly, most of our cities are what they are because of the really cool assets that are coming out on a daily basis over at the Steam Workshop. So thanks again, guys. Finishing up some detailing here, I wanted to add in some trees and tree growth areas around the outside of the campus, just inside the wall. I feel like that's authentic. I feel like they would want to not build into every single square inch of space that they have on their property, but to leave some room to breathe and for things to just kind of be natural and peaceful. That just seems realistic. But that also sort of wraps up what we have for a time lapse. So I will see you guys over in a live mode in just a moment really quick, where we're going to take a look at this finished build of this college campus and also check out some of the other cool stuff that's going on around the island. So I'll see you over there. Wonder and marvel at 15,500 tries of just pure beauty. I mean, that's a fantastic building. You know, I just can't help myself. I know I said it in the live, but I can't help myself. That's just an awesome looking building, and it really was exactly what I wanted to do for this campus. So it had to happen. It really did. And in front of it here, you see the plaza with the wing statue and some of the other features to it here. These planters, these lights in the planters down the middle. I really like the way that came out too. And in the distance there, the football stadium, which is also in its own right a pretty cool asset. And I made a couple little additions to this. The bathrooms over here, because you gotta have bathrooms, right? I mean, that's gotta happen. And over here, whoops, sorry. The little snack area for people to go during, before, after a game. Apparently when there's not even a game playing, because there's people hanging over here right now. So, little popcorn cart, this little grill, couple tables, bench, that sort of stuff. And I think I popped a vending machine over there just for laughs. So this is the campus, and I'm intentionally trying to avoid what's opposite, you know, to our backs right now, which is the downtown area. But I suppose I should at least give a sneak preview of that. Since I mean, a lot of the rest of this college campus is, you know, these academic buildings here, which, again, I think I mentioned are part of the Benedetto Chirper University collection. And they look cool. As a matter of fact, they look really great at night. I want to take a second to show these. The way these are lit up at night is very, very awesome. So these are, you know, really brilliantly lit up at night, and it brings life to the whole campus, like especially when you look at it from a distance, you know. And you can see the other one over here, which I really liked, that this building had this tower, because you can kind of see it amongst everything else. It stands out on its own beyond these dorms and the other side of these dorm buildings. And again, the way that they're lit makes them really stand out. Well, so there's your first teaser, I guess, of the downtown there in the distance. And, you know, this is how the kind of the university sits in relation to the downtown. You can see, I mean, there's some streets in the way here, but for the most part, it's right up against it. It's right on the outskirts of the downtown area, and some of it's getting flushed out and built in there. But that's a lot of the work that I've done since my last video has been getting buildings into here and arranging all of that, getting it all lined up and taking care of that stuff. And it's been a blast. It's been a lot of fun, to be honest. But I'm not quite ready to go in and full. I mean, it's not done yet. I mean, if I can let me bring the sun back here for a second, and you can see how much empty space there is in between buildings. Yeah, I mean, just looking at it from here, and again, of course, the issues with, they're all complaining about land values and not having workers. So, those are all things I'm trying to address elsewhere in the city, so that by the time, the downtown is more fleshed out, all these things are going to be fixed. But we also built this little neighborhood down here. This is actually pretty cool, and I don't think I got a lot of this on camera, so I think I won't feel too bad about giving up some of the secrets of this little neighborhood. I wanted to do like a Brooklyn kind of brownstone, very, very dense sort of residential village area. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. A lot of flashing lights. Let's take this back in the camera mode. But that's what I wanted to kind of create, and I used a lot of the Brooklyn collection to make this work, and just kind of piled these apartment buildings in right next to each other, and it created this really cool sort of neighborhood. I'm not done with it yet. There's a couple other things I want to add. Thinking about putting an elementary school down here, right over here in this area actually, and also a park, more plantings, more plants, because quite frankly, the way this is now, it's just a concrete jungle, and it's not exactly what I wanted to have out of this. I don't want it to look like a housing project, but I did want it to seem like a more dense urban living arrangement, maybe not quite wealthier people working there, because a lot of the other places that I've built, especially over in this direction here, we'll do a quick flyby. These apartments here, these ones in here, and these townhouses in here, they all seem like they're probably for a little bit more well-off. And this here as well. Oops, I always go too far. These these townhomes in here seem like they're probably for people who are a little more well-off than what was just built. So that was my solution to that, to kind of get that done. But I hope you've enjoyed this quick look around town. As you can see, there's been a lot that's gone on. Still a lot to be done. I mean, we have a lot more land to fill in. We have a lot more residential development that kind of fits in a not quite urban, not quite suburban, somewhere in between sort of pattern of development. Next episode, I do plan to show you more of what's going on in the downtown, but in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with these cinematics. Thank you again for checking out Sanriel Island. My name is Ferris. Y'all take care of each other, and I will see you next time.